Hello, I'm Erin Cassidy from the Community Library of DeWitt in Jamesville. I'm the Assistant Director for Technology here, and I'm so excited because we have a great opportunity to talk about our green roof on the top of the library building. We have with us today...
I'm David Du Bois, Land Steward at Baltimore Woods.
And also...
I'm Mike Service. I'm a Conservation Project Coordinator at Clark Reservation State Park.
And here we go.
So we found some very interesting things up on the green roof. Obviously, we expected to find a lot of stone crops or succulent plants that were originally planted up there, along with a couple of varieties of chives. I was actually quite pleased that we didn't find a lot of invasive things or weedy things up there. You'd figure after 4 years that you might have a lot more stuff growing in there that is undesirable. And so I was pleasantly surprised to not find things like a plant called pale swallowwort, which is a really common invasive that we have in the area that tends to take over certain areas and is very readily dispersed by the wind. So I was happy not to see that. And a lot of our other common invasives, such as garlic mustard, things like that, I was happy not to see those. One thing I did want to mention is that the types of plants that are growing up there, these succulents, are actually very uncommon in New York State. And we only have 3 or so native species, and each one of them is rare, and in some cases they are state endangered or federally protected by the Endangered Species Act. So these are rare types of plants to grow naturally in New York State that are native to New York State. However, they are very common in horticulture, used as ground covers, but they do normally come from other ranges. You can find them out in the western United States in more desert type areas. However, very rare in New York State for these types of plants.
So most of the plants we saw up there were planted originally with the green roof, but we had a few plants that came in through their own agency or with the help of a dispersal agent. We had a lot of wind-dispersed seeds, and we had some seeds that would have traveled in a bird in the fruit of a grape and made it up there through a dispersal agent. We also had a few plants that I'm not really sure how they made it up there, probably a random event, getting caught in a bird's feathers or in a beak that made it up top. We also found a mound-building ant nest up top, which is kind of interesting. There are a bunch of plants that disperse through being carried by ants, and seeing a big ant colony up top indicates that there are some insects up there that may be acting as dispersers on the roof. We also saw bellflower, which was pretty surprising to me. Nice little flower in bloom. Sometimes you see it growing wild, naturalized. But it's a beautiful little plant that I was pretty surprised to see up there.
Thank you so much for joining us for this discussion of the things that are growing on our green roof. I would love to thank
David Du Bois
and
Mike Service
for their participation and all of their great expertise and knowledge. And thank you for joining us today.